Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and welcome to the crash course for Thanos Endgame. Today we're going to talk about his abilities, T4 upgrades, building him, ISO 8 options, Dark Dimension prospects, and then at the end I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans for him. So, yeah, I do want to shout out, oh come on, my infographic. This is more of a short summary to have easy on hand. And then this video is going to be where I discuss my reasonings behind those choices. So you get more of a discussion of the decisions that I made. Um, yeah. Before we start, what do you think of Thanos Endgame as a variant? I feel like that's kind of a stupid name for him. Obviously, he's very different character-wise in the movie. I understand that. I understand him being a variant. Yes. But the name, I'm not sure. I almost feel like this one should have been Thanos, and then the other one should have been like Thanos Infinity, Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, something, Infinity Thanos, something like that. I don't know. I feel um, like they just put the movie name in his variant name. So I'm not sure about it. Thanos Savage or something, or like Thanos Inevitable. Also, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they also missed that mark with the Green Goblins. They should have renamed the old Green Goblin to Ultimate and then made Green Goblin Classic just Green Goblin. But anyway, let me know what you think about that. But that was my like small little musing. All right, let's go. His passive, Rain Fire. The first time this character drops below 50% health, clear all negative effects on self and all Annihilator allies. Attack all enemies for piercing and drain. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked or counterattacked. This is basically when he falls below 50% health, which means Scarlet Witch. When Scarlet Witch has him in a chokehold, he calls in the cavalry from above. That's what it is. I wish Scarlet Witch in this game was in a position to put this Thanos in a chokehold, but that's something else. Alright. Once per turn, when any enemy with expose is attacked, generate 1 energy for 2 allies or self that were not at full energy. This is amazing. I think this is great. It's directed energy in terms of like people who need it, and it calls back to the actual or like the first Thanos that we have. I like it. In arena, enemies cannot gain immunity. This is actually very huge. This character and all Annihilator allies cannot gain trauma in arena. I think this is also very big. Alright, the T4 upgrade increases the piercing to all enemies. Nice. And the first time this character drops below 50%, he also reduces the duration of all positive effects by 5. Uh, so he's expiring your buffs. And it's very rare that you have any stack of abilities that's more than 5. And he gets 1000% extra focus for this. It's subject like this aging or decaying, expiring of buffs is subject to a focus resistance check both on his passive and his ultimate. But on his passive he gets 1000% extra focus, so it's close to irresistible. But we still have characters that might be able to resist that, maybe like a Jessica Jones or something. No, maybe Black Knight. I don't know. We might. All right. Ultimate is on turn 2, so let's look at his special. Barrier self and all allies for 15%. Attack primary for damage. Apply exposed, trauma, and stun. Copy all buffs from self. Copy all debuffs from self and every ally to primary, but he doesn't clear. He just copies it. And then chain to 3 adjacent enemies. Apply offense down. Counterattack breaks this chain. The T4 adds more damage to everybody, which is always for these new meta characters, their base stats are high, their multipliers are low. So going from 280 to 350 is actually very nice. Um, the T4 also applies trauma and stun for 2 turns instead of 1 turn, and then the chain goes from 3 to 5 characters. This isn't essential, but it's almost essential. It's so high value. Um, stun and trauma for 2 turns is very big. Granted, in arena, because enemy Thanos is going to be preventing trauma, he's not going to be able to apply that, but that's another story. Um, Everywhere else, stun and trauma in any game mode for 2 turns, very, very high value. So I will call this almost essential. Alright, ultimate. Inevitable culling. Clear all negative effects on self. Gain offense up. Attack all enemies for piercing. Apply defense down and heal block both for 2 turns. This attack ignores defense up. That's really nice. Alright, the T4 adds 50% piercing to all enemies. That's big. And then he has the buff decay again. This time it's 2 turns, not 5. So if you have a stack of 3 on something, he'll only take it down to 1. But this does not have a focus boost, so this is more susceptible to being resisted. Alright, now let's look at his basic. Attack primary, apply heal block, bleed, reduce speed bar by 5%. Repeat this attack. The T4 adds damage, that's 70%, so it goes from 230 to 300 times 2, so that's actually a very nice chunk of damage upgrade, especially if you're going to run him as striker. It's very nice, but not essential. Alright, we talked about if we're going to run him as striker, and I will say we should run him as striker because he's going to be reducing speed bar on ISO attack and applying bleed. He's got a lot of damage. He's a damage dealer. Striker makes a lot of sense for him, so that's going to be my recommendation. Except when he's low stars, you're probably going to want to run the focus crutch for this trauma and stun, for the buff decay. Focus is going to be important for this character, so until you're not struggling with that anymore, you will want Skirmisher, but I think his ideal ISO class is Striker. Alright. We talked about ISO. Let's talk about building him. He is the damage dealer on the team. Build him big. He's an arena character. I personally try to hold gold orbs for emergencies, and emergencies are when I unlock legendaries, when I unlock mythics, and when I unlock other arena characters. Legendaries and mythics almost always also make their way to arena, so that's why I keep a buffer. This is why. So build them up as high as you can and are ready to. He's going to be important. You don't want him dying before he can do those resets and those buff clears and heals. Yeah, build him big. You want him to do damage. You want him to have focus. You want him to stay alive. And then let's talk about Dark Dimension. I think he's a good choice with that energy generation. That is it on a 3-turn cooldown? The 2-turn stun and trauma? Yes, on a 3-turn cooldown? Yes. That's what we want to see. Yeah, he's a great Dark Dimension choice. He has a bit of drain only on his passive. But beyond that, if you pair him with somebody that can heal him, Vol, he'll do amazing. He'll do great with Vol because they're both exposed characters. So much energy flying around, so much sustain. I understand that Vol is falling out of favor in terms of Dark Dimension. I know why. The team's not that great. They don't do anything outside of Raid, and even in Raid they're struggling. But for Dark Dimension, I think Vol is still a great option. Um, pick your poison. I think Endgame, Thanos Endgame, as a skill cosmic character is a shoe in. So yeah, take him to Dark Dimension 7. All right. With that, my plans. I honestly haven't decided yet if I want to buy him. I might, because he's gonna be immediately very effective and like influential in arena, and they keep throwing those events at us. It's like every week, either one or two or three energy events. Sometimes it's like campaign, isolate, and incursion energy all at once. It's exhausting. You need those cores. Um, yeah, so I might buy him. I'm really not sure yet. I will decide then and there. Um, but whether I buy him or unlock him naturally, I will be building him up immediately. He's really important. He's going to Gear 19 ASAP. And I will run him as skirmisher probably until 5 stars. Then I will assess and then swap to striker. And T4s, I'll put it on everything. He's going to be a striker, so that basic, even though not essential, is going to be really valuable. The special, so high value, I'm going to want that. And then ultimate and passive, um, obviously, very important abilities and essential upgrades. So that's going to be my plan. Please check out the graphic on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description. Um, Let me know what you think of Thanos Endgame's variant name. I'm still not sold, but it's not up to me. Thank you for going over his kit with me. I hope to see you in the next one.